Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a Dadbod to Daddy transformation vlog, and today was shoulder day. Came in and just did 15 sets, everything 10 plus reps. Again, a heavy emphasis on the side and the posterior delts. Obviously, front delts don't need as much because my chest day I do a ton of incline work. In fact, I'm very incline focused at the moment. So I feel like just doing one front delt exercise gets it done. This workout was fast, and this kind of is really setting the template for where I want to continue to go with this, the body part split and the power building. I feel like as long as I really just come in and get my small amount of heavy sets with my big three, and literally everything can be pump work like this, which also means I can really have 2 of my days every week just be straight pump work, right? Come in, hard sets, make sure we work every muscle through an effective range of motion, make sure that we hit all the heads, and then get out. And that's one of the things too. It's like if I'm going to chase the heavier tension, I only need that on my big three. The other movements, I can come in and again, I don't need really long breaks. So when I say that this was a fast workout, because I did exercises that required minimal setup with my equipment, this workout took me about 35 minutes. So I did 15 work sets in 35 minutes, even starting with a bigger barbell movement than doing isolation. And I think even now that I've looked at comparing the couple of weeks, I feel like for me an arm day really may not be ideal, mainly because setting up the supersets, having to pick exercises based around that, just for filming purposes, setup purposes, I feel like it's a chest and tricep and then a back and bicep day, probably better. I feel like the supersets aren't really saving me significant time on some of those big movements. I think they can for calf work on lower days. So I feel like I really do get a lot out of the back and bicep and the chest and tricep. And I think mainly because all my back exercises use biceps first. And if I'm just doing really strict isolation work for the arms afterwards, not a big deal. Same thing with kind of the triceps and calves. I'm actually gone back over to something I used to do back in powerlifting when I had stronger triceps, the whole kind of a West Side method of just doing high rep band press downs every day. And that's the thing I've noticed. I've been doing that for over a week, right? And even though I've had the tricep day here, I came in and my bench was actually respectably strong this week, right? I haven't been doing any heavy benching. Came in and just did rep work with 315 flat back, no wrist wraps, heels flat, super wide grip. Knocked out a decent triple with 315 while having done all this cutting. I'm super happy with that. So I feel like my triceps are not getting too fatigued from it. So we could argue about fatigue from that really high rep band work, but I'm not seeing the negatives there. The only thing I did notice is that I felt like the deadlift the next day, my grip was giving out and my back had DOMs from the back work. Might be the one thing to consider too with the whole back and bicep. I probably shouldn't be doing back the day before doing my deadlifts, right? It probably would fit better on Thursdays, again, just for my own programming. So again, still someone who is fairly new to doing body part type splits, even though I used to do them decades ago, 20 plus years ago. I only recently, in the last few months, started really doing them again for myself. So again, fine tuning it for my equipment that I have in my home for my recovery, especially given that I still do some heavy lifting, obviously. Again, do rep work with 500 on a deadlift, 315 on a bench, for reps, closing in on 50 years old. I do have to think about that from a recovery end. But yeah, I've really enjoyed today's workout. This was, it was efficient, it was quick. We came in, just got the rotation. I almost feel like I could literally come and do the same thing on a back and bicep day. Chest and triceps a little less because I do have to bench heavy first, right? But the idea is the same, and my leg days can be very similar because I come in and do a little heavy squatting, and then we just superset belt squats with calves back and forth for pump. Okay, this is going to be totally doable. But I felt like today I really got into that mindset of let's just get in and do the exercises that are fast to set up. right? I wanted an efficient workout while still working every single angle. Because just if we count everything, it was 15 sets for delts, but 2 of the exercises were very specific to side delts, although one of them really hits everything hard. Both of them do. 2 rear delt specific, 1 front delt specific. Now, keeping in mind, everything here worked the side delt, which are probably my understimulated from the pushing and pulling. But, realistically, I need the side delts and I need the rear delts, right? I feel like we need these a lot. Yes, this is not the most flattering position for the camera if I'm going to be in the shorter shorts and I still have the loose skin. But I feel like as I get leaner, that's tightening up. Obviously, it's not quite as tight as when my carbs were lower, but does that really matter? Because I can always drop the carbs if I want to drop the water, but it's like a lot of coaches I know who prep bodybuilders have said, you don't need to do any of that if you just get lean enough. Everything gets tight anyways. Right? Trying to drop water really is just creating an illusion for people who aren't lean enough yet. Okay? That's all it is. So interesting point. I'm just going to continue to get leaner. And I just went grocery shopping before I'm doing this vlog. I did it after I trained, after my shower and everything. I think I'll put up some of my stuff because people ask what I eat like. And I'm like, guys, I'm really eating a super bro diet, like it really a balanced traditional bodybuilding diet. And I think if people see my grocery basket, they'll kind of be like, oh, I almost feel like maybe I need to make a video on that today and literally just put snapshots up in my grocery basket and talk about it. But here again, we did 3 sets of rear delt raises, and then I finished up with 3 sets of band pull aparts. And all this stuff is getting real close to failure. Some of these sets are failure, some are a rep short, but in general, everything was very, very close. I would say no set I did was more than 2 reps from failure. Some of the sets were. So again, just came in, got a heck of a pump, worked every angle of every muscle with a challenging work set. All right. Some of these muscles got a couple of angles, some of the heads. But again, really kind of the nature of how my workouts need to go. Start with a big compound, but still do some reps. Finish with a bunch of high rep pump work. And then obviously my glute and hamstring day needs some heavy deadlifts. My chest day needs some tricep day will have some heavy benching, and then my leg day will have some heavy squatting. All right. Very, very power building. Really, in a lot of ways, the closest person I know of out there, influencer, training in this manner that I can think of would be Michael Hurd. This sort of style has been extremely effective for Mike, and I don't think we can deny that. Obviously, there's other factors involved, but the man's training is pretty much on point. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.